One moment, y'all. Oh, okay, it works. Thank you everyone for being here. It's me, Audrey Dosset. You can call me Rashid. I'm your anthropologist and sociologist. If you're Italian, you can call me Emiliano. My Thanksgiving name, perfectly fine. Hit the like button, everyone. Share this live stream. Subscribe to the channel. Become a member of the channel. Donate the links below. Thank you very much for your contribution. You can book a session with me, a one-on-one consultation. Check the fees and instructions in the description box below. You can buy my novels on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, wherever you can find them. And above all, I want you to pay close attention to this live stream. Take notes, pray about it afterwards, and where this knowledge applies in your life, apply this knowledge to glorify your Heavenly Father. Thank you. Before I continue, how are you all doing today? Let me know in the live chat, please. How are you all doing today? It's early morning here in the Netherlands, where I am at the moment. How are you all doing today, y'all? All right. I want you to imagine the following. You walk into a street. Let's say you're about to visit a, a, a friend from childhood. You haven't seen him for 10 years. You're about to visit him. He has his own place right now. They gave you the address. So you drive into the street. But the moment you drive into the street where he resides, you almost faint by your steering wheel. You look outside, there are hills of rubbish. Hills of rubbish, even hills of trash. Everywhere. You think to yourself, what? Is it a dumpster site? You know, sometimes when you walk down the street, you may see some litter here and there. Because the thing is, not everyone is so clean that they just throw their garbage or their rubbish into the bin. Some people litter around, which is not good, which I don't condone. In some countries, even against the law, you can even get fined for it or arrested. But nevertheless, it happens, unfortunately. Especially if there was a festival or a busy event, then you may find some litter over the place. So you get out. You put your hand before your nose because it's even stinking. Because yet a hill, an artificial hill, filled with food waste also, and yet wild swine. You had dogs. You even had a lot of birds. Also, insects feeding off of it. You rush very quickly to the flat complex. You ring the bell. Your friend opens and you rush upstairs. Upstairs, you enter to the house of your childhood friend. His house is clean, well decorated, well maintained. What's the first thing you're going to tell him? Well, I know what I would ask him. Yo, how do you live in this area? Look at your house. Your house is clean, well decorated, well maintained. Look at the neighborhood you're living in, man. And he tells you, oh, yeah, you know, some people just litter a little bit. Well, you know, some people not raised it well by their parents. They just litter over the place. But you know, it's not everybody doing it, y'all. And you're thinking, yo, have you even looked outside? It's not just a few people here and there littering, y'all. People are throwing trash everywhere on the streets, y'all. Even have small hills that emerge now because all the trash keeps piling up. The thing that surprised you the most is that you're an outsider. You visited the place and you couldn't wait to leave. That's so unbearable having all that trash around. All the wild animals, all the street dogs, all the birds and insects attracted. Don't even talk about the bacteria and all the parasites, because remember the stench, all that trash is bringing forth. Eventually, you left within less than 10 minutes with an excuse. Not because you've had an issue against your childhood friend, but because you couldn't bear that he couldn't see the situation he was in. Now, likely, things like this only happen in movies. At least I hope that is the case. But imagine, you go to visit someone, and in their neighborhood, there's trash piling up everywhere you look. Would you be comfortable coming back to that place? Most likely not. And I don't blame you. Would you feel comfortable with the people living there who don't even seem to realize how bad the environment is? You either feel pity for them or you think there's something seriously wrong with them. Now, forget about the parable. Just like you have people that litter physically, dumping trash everywhere, the same happens emotionally. In the world, people carry and spread emotional pollution. Emotions are energy that you emit from your energy field. Men can generate a whole energy wave direct from the energy field as men because they're built in a magnetic way. Women can trigger an energy wave, but nevertheless still emit radiation out of them. So both men and women emit radiation out of them. So when people are not emotionally stable, or when people are emotionally polluted, they litter negativity into the environment. Someone can be physically well behaved, wearing clean, nice clothes. They put perfume on, but if their energy field is dirty, they are dirty. Because the impact they have on other people is the same as if they haven't showered for years. Imagine someone who hasn't showered for years, didn't wipe their ass for years after going to the toilet, didn't brush your teeth for years. Being an individual like that, y'all, doesn't matter how much nice clothing they put on, how much perfume put on, eventually the horrible, deadly stench will show up. And the thing is, because they're so dirty, they attract parasites, they attract all types of nastiness in the environment too. Let me tell you, someone that's emotionally unstable and someone that's emotionally stuck in low vibration of self-hatred, um, guilt, or worry, or hatred, dislike, whatever, despair. When people are trapped in low vibration like that, they are littering. They're not aware they're littering. But nevertheless, that's what goes on. When you have enough people in a location that litters, that that generates a heavy negative energy wave. And that negative energy wave builds up, becomes negative energy pressure. And once you have negative energy pressure, the weight, the energetic weight in the environment weighs down on the location, on the people, also on the animals. You're going to have animals malfunctioning, animals freak out of the blue. You're going to have electronic devices malfunctioning and causing accidents. You're going to have people suddenly fainting, crashing, all of that. So you're going to get accidents. And one thing you will get when it's negative energy pressure, is demonic activity. Mm. Yes, that's how you get demonic activity, y'all. A demon can linger around or pass through an emotionally clean environment. However, they're not able to do much over there. Demons thrive, and demons become more powerful in the physical, in an emotionally polluted environment. So that's an environment where people don't look after their own internal well-being, where people just litter emotional pollution everywhere. The thing is, if someone is physically dumping trash, there's a physical object there that's being dropped. You can see it, you can document it on the camera, and you can call the cops and say this guy is littering over the place. Thing is, emotion. Hold on. Emotional littering. You don't see it with the physical eyes directly. You can't record it on camera and call the cops or someone for it. So it goes undetected. Only when someone who's emotionally polluted acts out physically in a negative way, the physical behavior can be documented and you can say, we don't want this behavior over here. But what if everyone is trained to behave respectfully? The external behavior is not directly something you can use against them. When that doesn't take away that they are littering emotionally. I'm telling you, if a human being does not process their childhood traumas, if a human being does not process the fact that they are a vulnerable fragile creature, anytime a human being is not emotionally stable in processing life, they become emotionally polluted. They begin to litter um, toxicity in the environment. They become a fuel supply for evil spirits. There is no demonic activity. Demons don't hang around places where there's no emotional pollution because they can't even do much in such a place. As a matter of fact, a lot of demons have run away and flee to such place because the vibration is too high for them. So anywhere you have paranormal activity, where it's a house is haunted, or where it is that a company has all these weird actions happening, wherever you find paranormal activity, you will find people who are wasteful and neglectful. Simple as that. That's the only way it works. The only way it can work. So when you pick up paranormal activity, don't gaslight yourself because that's what so many people do, including believers. If you're at, let's say you have a cousin called Jimmy. You're at Jimmy's house and you're playing PS5, playing a video game on the PlayStation 5, and you hear um, someone banging hard on the door of the living room, and you scream, "Yeah, Jimmy, that's not funny, man. Just come in." What you're not aware of is that Jimmy was not even near the door of the living room. Jimmy was somewhere in the front yard taking a package from a UPS driver. So when Jimmy walks back into the house, you think, what? What just happened? You now try to explain away what just happened. You act like nothing happened, or you act like, oh, it must be some sound from the video game, or maybe I just imagined it. No, 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 no. It was not a sound for the video game. No, you did not just imagine it out of the blue. And no, it did happen. So you encountered a paranormal activity. That was not Jimmy knock hard on that door. You thought it was Jimmy doing a prank on you. No, his house has a demonic entity, an evil spirit in it. Yes. So let's say you brush it off. Then you at work one day, and at work you have this colleague that walks in, and out of the blue, the colleague's voice, the pitch of his voice changes dramatically for like 20 seconds, and you get shocked. You freeze, like what? I just here. But then you notice that, oh, I'm at work, so you just you watch your behavior very quickly, and then later that day, a colleague asks you, "Yo, Rashid, did you hear Emmanuel's voice change just like that?" And I asked him, "Then wait, you heard it too?" "Yeah, of course I heard it. Everyone heard it." So now you can't say, "Well, just imagine it," or it was just a distortion of the air, whatever excuse you can make. Your colleague's voice pitch changed unnaturally. So now you and a colleague admit that either your colleague is demonically oppressed or worse, demon possessed. But the weird thing is, when you talk about it with all the other colleagues, they all act like nothing happened, like they know what you're talking about. Here's the thing though, they're lying. They heard it too. They were there. They just don't want to deal with it. So they act like in here's anything. So when you mention it, they act like you're the crazy one. And now because they don't be confronted with it, they're gonna turn on you. And that's what often happens in the world, especially in the Western world, when it comes to paranormal activity. You notice something that is unnatural happening, even when we have proof on tape about it, people say, "Oh, it's just AI, or it's just special effects, oh, well, there's a reasonable logical explanation for it." And then listen, I don't care how creeped out you are, I don't care how scared it is. When you encounter paranormal activity, you encountered something abnormal and unnatural. Don't be afraid of it. Just admit it happened. And now you need to figure out, why did it happen? Who it happen to, or who did it happen through? And you'll figure out there is some type of neglect or iniquity going on over there. Demons don't haunt clean, emotionally clean places. They don't. Let me repeat it one more time. Demons don't haunt emotionally clean places. Demons hang around emotionally emotionally dirty places. That's why they're linked around. So whenever you encounter paranormal activity, just know that there is a negative will that's going on over there with the people. Either something people there don't want to process collectively, or it could be that the people have some type of vice or iniquity don't want to give up. There is some type of emotional littering going on over there. Now, the advantage is, as a believer with the Holy Spirit in you, you can shut down for the moment paranormal activity. Just know, if the population there, if the people there don't improve and become safer and better human beings, they will keep facilitating and bring forth more paranormal activity. So you're going to be exhausted over and over again casting out these demons, yo. At some point, the people have to improve, yo. Simple as that. So never ignore paranormal activity. Let paranormal activity be an indicator to you that there's a negative will over there. Either one, it's not never just one individual. It's always a group of people with a negative will. They want something or insist something that goes against their design, or they insist something they can't justify. And because they're emotionally trapped in resentment, bitterness, sadness, or whatever it is, that's why they're littering the environment. That's why it's important for you as a believer to command peace out of you, to stay in a high vibration state of joy. That's why it's important for you to be emotionally well, emotionally stable. Yes, your emotions matter, your feelings matter, not just for yourself, also for your environment. Your emotions matter, your feelings matter, not only to yourself, also to the environment and everyone you encounter. If you're emotionally polluted, you become like a honey pot that attracts all types of bees and insects, yo. I mean, just keep it real with you. When you're around people who refuse to reflect internally and refuse to improve internally, who refuse to become better and safer human beings, it could be someone is quite mean or someone is quite emotionally sensitive, but they're not willing to actually improve their attitude and become better and safer people. I'm telling you, that's the same as someone throwing trash over the place, whether it's in your house or on the street or at a public space. Would you be comfortable with someone like that? Or worse, let's say you have someone who's defecating in the open, dumping their poop everywhere besides the trash. Would you be okay with something like that? No. Let me tell you, when people refuse to become better and safe human beings, when they refuse to work on themselves for the better, that's the type of people individual you're dealing with. They're just not doing it physically, but emotionally, that's what they're doing to the environment. And you'll always become collateral damage of their littering at some point, even if they never, ever attack you verbally, emotionally, or physically, even if they never slander you and get you in trouble, their emotional littering itself is danger to put out there. So when people normalize emotional dysfunction, that iniquity, man, it's food for demons, y'all. And the paranormal activity will only stop when the people decide, enough now, we need to be better people. Simple as that. Are there any questions about this topic? Let me know in the live chat, please. Are there any questions about this topic? Mm. Your spiritual hygiene matters, not just to yourself, also to other people, even more than your physical one. When your spiritual hygiene is okay, you don't have to worry about your physical hygiene because when your spiritual hygiene is okay, automatically you will look better of yourself, your physical hygiene also. But if your spiritual hygiene is off, then eventually your physical hygiene will decline also. All right? There are no questions at all. Anyway, thank you all for being here. Keep growing in Christ. Everyone, don't the links below, please. Thank you. I'll see you all in my next live stream.